See the lights, I'll chase it. Yeah, it's all about the journey, pace it. You can't rush, it's basic. It's simple, don't overcomplicate it.
Before this video begins, you'll have to excuse me for my microphone audio quality. I'm using my aviation headset that I use for real-world flying to record this, and therefore when put through an adapter, you get the unmistakable effect of listening to a pilot speak on the radio. It's shit, I know, but let's get on with it. A quick disclaimer, all groups, people, or beings mentioned in this video are simply for reference. I have nothing against anyone and do not mean any due harm to anyone mentioned in the following video. I would also just like to mention, I do like editing things and generally being quite a funny person, so even though some of this may seem like a meme, everything that I am saying is a perfectly valid point, and do not disregard what I'm saying just because there is a funny picture. What I'm saying is important, and please listen to it. Thank you. Hi, my name is Asins, or AC. Some of you may know me, some of you may not. I'm just creating this video to declutter the thoughts in my mind and perhaps share my unbiased view on a community otherwise known as Ro-Aviation. I'm also going to be making an announcement at the end of this video, so please be sure to stay for that. While these are my personal thoughts on Ro-Aviation, and of course my view, you may find that some of the things I'm going to mention may have an effect on you, or you may relate to them, which was the main idea with this video, is to try and reach out to as many people as possible, and to try and declutter some of the things that make Ro-Aviation like it is now. So, what is Ro-Aviation? Is it a place where children fake their deaths, fake having illnesses, whether they be mental or physical, or a place where people commit morally wrong actions and create false pretenses to claim the slightest amount of relevancy or attention? Or is it perhaps a platform for young minds to work, allowing creativity to flourish, providing a platform for learning about business, having a first opportunity at earning money, and even making friends? In my honest opinion, Ro-Aviation was pretty much doomed from the start. Giving children the ability to form companies, earn money, buy things, without the real-world experience or learning how to deal with such matters is a plan flawed from its inception. It is simply impossible to expect children, by definition immature, to act maturely when it comes to business. Ro-Aviation has not declined or got worse over time. There were no good old days. People have simply realised that a community like this cannot operate, and over time, the more people who join, present more individual issues and bring more unusual scenarios to Ro-Aviation. To understand why Ro-Aviation does not work as intended, we must look at its roots: airlines and tech groups. You can attempt to convince me that there are other aspects of Ro-Aviation which I wholeheartedly agree with. However, the basis and most notable parts of Ro-Aviation are undeniably founded upon two groups: tech and airlines. And funnily enough, most of the drama caused in Ro-Aviation stems entirely from these two groups: tech and airlines. From my experience of running multiple different groups in Roblox, I have found that drama always arises from groups like these. I have owned flying clubs, airlines, tech groups, aircraft clubs, you name it, and the drama experience is non-existent until you get into tech groups or airlines. From simply missing promised product release dates to significant tech companies running away with 4 million Robux taken from innocent customers, or products such as self-check-ins being copied and sold in almost every group to exist, Ro-Aviation has declined to a point where it is causing some severe issues. There is no more originality, and there is no more fun in this community. Rubius, one of Ro-Aviation's longest notable alliances, surviving for a decade, has now closed down. The official statement claims that the president merely lacks time to continue, and therefore must pursue other more critical educational and real-world engagements. This reasoning is all quite understandable. However, what intrigues me is why should one man's resignation shut down an entire company, an entire community even, of hundreds, if not thousands of members, all supporting and operating under one name? You could easily make an educated guess that Rubius is simply shutting down because of the nature of the community after spouts of continuous drama and problems with their staffing. Of course, the official statement, the reasoning behind it, does play a part in this, but you do have to look into it a bit further and see that perhaps there is a second side to Rubius's closure. The sad thing about Ro-Aviation is, through it, I have learnt to trust nobody. And in fact, I have even noticed changes in my own character and my own personality that do not reflect my true self or the person I was when I first joined the community. But how did I join the community? How did I get here? Well, I joined Roblox in 2010. It was a very, very simple time. If anything, I would say the game was pretty shit. But it was the simplicity of the game. I was young, and you could do whatever you wanted, wherever you wanted, build what you wanted, and it was for free. It was a concept that was too hard to resist. I played Roblox for a few years, uploading short clips on YouTube and just letting my young mind get carried away in imaginary scenarios and the fun games that Roblox provided. I remember playing early flight simulators on Roblox, loving it, not knowing that in a few years a whole community would explode and expand over a simple aspect of life in a video game: aviation. But like all good things, it comes to an end. I grew older and began having to take my life seriously. I became intensely involved in school and I sold my computer, therefore not allowing me to play Roblox anymore. Roblox was gone. But a couple years later, I finished school with decent grades and began pursuing a career in aviation. I got a glider pilot's license with my country's Air Force on a scholarship. I then went on to instruct a civilian club. I got a job working as an instructor on a 737-800NG simulator, and then I got my private pilot's license and began training as an instructor. Eventually, I started my ATPL student pilot career on my way to becoming an airline pilot. Then, COVID-19 hit, a virus that stopped the world. At this time, I had a new computer I used in conjunction with my flight training and decided, hey, why not go back to the game that caused me so much joy? I was bored in lockdown, why not do it? So I did. I went back to Roblox. I was so involved in aviation at the time that that's the only thing I did. I was playing Roblox flight sims, I was looking into groups. I first joined Air Veruda and made my own airline. I met a friend, he made a plane, I made a plane, sold the plane, got members, killed the members, created a new group, killed that group, made another group, and another, and another, and another, worked here, and there, here, and there, we don't talk about here, and finally, here. And we're going strong now. As you can see, I've had quite a lot of experience in this community. All the groups, all the people, throughout the whole thing, it's been enjoyable, I can't deny it. If this whole thing wasn't enjoyable, then nobody would be doing it. But there are so many issues in Ro-Aviation. These issues are issues that outbalance the enjoyable stuff, issues that stay on your mind and cause genuine grief. Constant toxicity from people you don't even know, criticism rather than constructive criticism, bringing people down, drama, fights, exposing people, beef, whatever you want to call it. There is so much going on in Ro-Aviation that one of these days, all the things boiling up inside will bubble over the top, and that will be it. Unless something changes soon, Ro-Aviation is heading into an irreversible hole. I'm quite sure that soon some changes will be made, and things will happen that cannot be reversed, and these things will not be good. These issues are precisely why many talented and amazing people are leaving this community, and soon, I regret to say, I will be joining them. I thought there was no better way of explaining my situation than a video like this. It's the only way I can feel like I can be honest with you, speaking to you as if I were doing so in person. I am leaving Ro-Aviation, a phrase that nowadays is sadly very common, and a phrase that sadly now applies to me. As my life slowly somehow picks itself back up, and my country's restrictions on coronavirus and lockdown become, well, less restrictive, and I slowly begin flying again, going back to work, I will have no more time. I have realised that this simple thing, a game, not even that, a community in a game, has taken over my life. I'm always checking Discord, seeing who's saying what's happening where, what new drama has come up, or perhaps what great new product someone has come up with. It is a real mix of the two. However, I realised I could not let this take over my life. Doing this has affected my mental health in a way that isn't good for me. I feel tied to my computer, or even Discord, worrying or waiting for someone to start a fight, try to expose me, or something along these lines that I have to figure out a way to defend myself against. I'm sure that quite a lot of you may feel the same way, or perhaps you just don't realise it yet. But being in a community like this is affecting you in ways you haven't even noticed. I'm sure a lot of you can relate to the points I've made in this video, or notice the similarities between my experience and yours. It doesn't matter who you are, whether you own multiple groups like myself, and are considered a big player in Ro-Aviation. A statement I disagree with myself, however, many people seem to think I am, so I suppose I should just say I am. Or, you may simply be a passenger in an airline. You've seen toxicity. You perhaps may not have been involved in it, or you perhaps started it. But this cannot continue. Soon, because of this, there will be no more people who provide your fun that you joined the community for. And the big groups owned by toxic entrepreneurs will be the ones who actually profit over your demise. And I'm making sure that I'm not around for the day that that happens. So, a few final words from myself. I am leaving Ro-Aviation. However, I will still have my hand and place in a few groups. These groups will be the Lancaster Foundation, a group I made for enjoying antique aircraft, Aerial Avionics, a general aviation tech group, a one of its kind and a first in the Ro-Aviation community, something which I don't plan on leaving and helping to grow, and Project 800, which is a labour of love I've made of making a 737 in Roblox, and I will complete this project of mine and run the group in the background over the future. I simply enjoy developing for the community, and some of the skills I have learnt here in Blender, Roblox Studio and scripting I would quite like to keep up. Therefore, by continuing to create and develop while not actively inside the community, means I can stay in touch with the great friends I made here. So I would like to make a couple special mentions towards some people in the community. Pepperoni505. I do not have his Discord tag anymore, and we do not talk. I'm not even sure if he will see this video, but he was my first ever business partner on Roblox. You showed me that taking the initiative and independence to do things myself would get me far. We had our ups and downs, but I will never forget the memories we had together in Aeronovo or Norwegian. Thank you for making me the developer I am today. Genuinely, I would not be making aircraft if it wasn't for you. Aviation, or Dam as I like to call him, one of my closest and first friends on Roblox. I would and can trust him with anything. One of the most talented scripters and people with a can-do attitude I have ever met. You will go far in life and stay in touch. Charlie, or the English Pigeon, a great friend. I had endless fun playing Roblox Rust with you, and you have learnt so much about developing in such a short time. We go way back, and I look forward to seeing how your skills continue to grow over the future, and expect great things from you. Good luck. The plane don't go vroom, it go whoosh. Dev chat. A genuine group of people with whom I consider some of my closest and best friends in Ro-Aviation. Thank you for all the fun times, the advice, help, jokes, and the close-knit community we have created. There's not been a single moment where I have not enjoyed your company. Every one of you have been unconditionally amazing. I hope all of your future endeavours go as fantastic as the way you treated me. Thanks for not making me feel like an outsider. And finally, a big thank you to all the people who have ever supported me. People who've come into my group and perhaps bought an aircraft from me, or just been a member and looked at my development. You must have seen, or for the people who've known me for a long time, that I'm very different from where I started in the past. My first aircraft, compared with my current aircrafts, it's a whole new change, and I couldn't have done it without the support of people watching me develop these aircraft. So thank you, customers, members, friends, acquaintances, all of you for showing that I can do it. So, what now? I am planning on finishing what I started before I leave. I do not want to, and never plan to scam anyone. Therefore, I need to finish some commitments before I leave, and then, once I finish them, that's when I will be leaving properly. But for now, I will slowly start leaving groups, and as of the 14th of October 2020, I am leaving Ro-Aviation. In terms of my future, I will continue pursuing my pilot career, while occasionally visiting Ro-Aviation now and then to see how it's going, see what new things have been created, and check in on old friends. I will also work part-time on YouTube, making videos based around flight simulation and doing Twitch and YouTube streams on popular flight simulators, for example the new Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, Explain, P3D, FSX, as streaming these simulators, as I have done in the past, has always been a great passion of mine. So, this is it. Thank you everyone for all the great memories. I am 100% sure I will never forget them. A message to all of you: keep thriving. If you are doing well, keep it up. Don't let anything get you down. But please, please, don't let yourself fall. Don't let this take over your life in a negative way. And I mean, after all, it's just a game, bro. Just a game, bro!